Hey guys, just as a quick edit, if you have not seen the Joker movie and still want to listen to this episode, jump ahead to about the 34-minute mark, and pick up from there where we start talking about which villains you would like to see get the treatment that the Joker did. Also, at about the hour and 3-minute mark till about the hour and 8-minute mark, there was an audio problem, so the audio's a little crappy. If you can't hear, I apologize. Other than that, enjoy the episode. Three unqualified morons and microphones. This is the previously recorded podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to Previously Recorded. I'm your host, RP, as always. And this episode of Previously Recorded is brought to you by Totally Tees. If you need a shirt and you don't have one, call Totally Tees, they'll get it done. All right, that's the new jingle, heard everywhere. So joining me for this episode of Previously Recorded is Roberto and Shane. As always, guys, how we doing today?
What's up?
I'm all right.
This is obviously our first podcast today.
We're not unenthusiastic because we haven't recorded. This isn't the third podcast we've recorded in the last 3 days.
Yeah, so we're actually doing it as professionals do podcasts. All right, so today's episode of Previously Recorded is based on the Joker and DC. So, the Joker has just released a couple weeks ago when this episode comes out. So we're going to kind of review it. And
if this episode comes out.
That's true. It could not air. It could be a total disaster. So
we're going to... total disaster, like a certain Wing episode.
Or like a certain Joker performance.
Ooh.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, yeah.
Okay. Jared Leto. Unfortunately, that did come out.
So before, I just want to make this clear. Before I even saw the Joker, I typed up all these questions, and we didn't know what was going to happen with the Joker, the success, the story. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if this was going to be used to lead the universe as a whole. So we're just going to start off and give our review of the film.
I would also like to say before we actually start, throughout the course of this episode, we're probably going to not acknowledge Jared Leto's Joker at all.
No,
yes?
We're not, because he's not
yes.
a good Joker.
Wait, when was Jared Leto the Joker?
Exactly. All right, moving on.
So, Shane and Bob, you guys saw the movie about a week before I did.
Yeah.
And so I had some...
You were in Disney. There was a podcast about it.
There was a podcast about it. Check it out. So I had a little bit of time to read what people were saying online and help formulate you always have an idea of a movie before you go in and see it. What was your guys' take?
If you don't mind, before we give our take, because you got our take before you saw it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Based on what you were seeing, because now you're going to get our feedback again.
Yeah.
Based on what you were seeing online. No, before we even get to that, based on what you were like, what were the kinds of things you were seeing online?
Well, people were just sucking its dick. Like, okay. It's the greatest movie.
Like, I know IGN gave it a really good review. And
yeah.
Usually IGN is like what I'll look at. I rarely agree with what IGN has to say, but their reviews are generally in the right region. Like, if they give it a 4 to 6, it's not that great of a movie. If they give it a 6 to 7, it's all right.
So what I saw online was, this ridiculous, and the 8-minute applause they got at Sundance or the French Film Festival.
So that was my biggest fear.
Fucking ridiculous.
8 seconds would have been excessive.
Can you imagine standing for 8 minutes and just clapping?
All right, so Sundance is a different story.
If they're a film?
In general, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna early on in this episode establish who our crumb bum of the week is.
I want to fight you.
Why is that?
Because you're a crumb creep, lush coward.
You don't even know me, Mayor.
You are a lush, I can tell by looking at you.
And it's anybody who applauds at the end of a movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, fuck you.
Wait,
or at a movie
even
in
worse,
general.
anybody who applauds in the middle of a movie.
Yes.
Like
if you applaud during a movie, at any point,
piece of shit.
Stop. Just stop what you're doing and think
You're
about it.
You're a piece of dog shit.
Piece of dog. Yeah, fuck you. Piece of dog shit.
Piece of dog shit.
The actors, the filmmakers, the producers,
they're not there.
The cast, nobody's there.
Like, you're just applauding for nobody.
Why the fuck?
You know what you should applaud for? You should applaud for the fucking poor schmuck who's sweeping up the popcorn that you just dropped on the floor 13 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
That guy is the only person there who's working to make your experience better.
RP
was that guy.
And I can tell from experience, we fucking hate you.
Yeah. Okay? The crumb bum of the week is anybody that applauds. And like I said, Sundance is a different beast because the people are all there at Sundance. So that is a different situation. But if you're applauding at the end of the movie, I fucking hate you, and that's you're the Miles Teller of the world.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you to give your review of the film, but I want a hot take from the movie. Like, what did you love? What did you hate?
Well, I want to give kind of a review.
Well, I don't care. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I want to hear what you.
I'm gonna give it
Shane,
anyway.
I want to hear what you have to say about the movie.
So going into it, I was really excited because I thought all the trailers looked fantastic, and I'm a big fan of the Joker. I was a little bit underwhelmed. I thought it was a little too long. I feel like if the movie was like a half hour shorter, it would have been much better.
I feel like a half hour shorter would have been too short. Maybe 15 minutes.
20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes
Just
I can see.
Take out a little bit of the, okay, I get it, I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy.
I don't need to see him smoking by himself in the apartment every
Spoiler
16
alert.
minutes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. After he shot Mary, the movie could have ended, and I would have been fine.
Yeah, so all right, so hot take here. That was fucking crazy,
That was.
and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But like him dancing on the stairs, don't put that in the trailer.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Because that's one of the greatest parts of that movie, and I'd seen it 40 times before I saw the movie.
It was a gift before the movie fucking came out.
Exactly. Like him dancing on the steps. Once you know why he's doing it, obviously it changes the situation.
Because he's crazy.
But but the fact that he's dancing his way to the show, and he's like already lost his mind. Obviously, it's different. But it's also a Joker movie, so when you see a fucking maniac jumping in a puddle on the steps, we're all like, "Oh, he's a Joker. He's nuts." Like we already pieced that together in our head, and it takes away from it. So that part, like, don't put that in the trailer. And then other hot take: don't make the Joker a movement. Don't make this political. Don't make this a rich versus poor thing.
I really wish I could go back and see the movie without seeing a trailer. Like just going into the movie
That's
blind.
most movies for me. I mean, we've talked about it on the show before. I think
I
try to avoid trailers as
just
much as
because
possible.
I had in my mind what I wanted the movie to be, and it kind of was, but I don't know. I just thought it was.
I just didn't want it to be artsy.
Yeah,
I'm okay
And
with it being art. I like artsy.
I don't like
stuff.
artsy, like especially with something. I'm alright with artsy, like Memento is very artsy, but it's a really good movie. Christopher Nolan does a lot of things that are like artsy in nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But his Batman wasn't overwhelmingly like in your face artsy. The first hour and a half of the Joker was artsy.
So-
just for the
It
sake
was
of
just
being
a lot
artsy.
of building.
Characters that did not matter. You know what I mean? Like you can't tell me that the social worker that he went to visit, her only purpose in that movie was to make a political statement that there's not enough support for people with mental illness.
Yeah, well, that's what there's a big calling for that. Which
And I understand that's an issue, but I don't want
mean,
that in my Joker movie.
Yeah.
One of my
I
favorite
agree.
scenes from the movie came from his interaction with her when he said, like, all I have is bad thoughts.
Yeah.
That's one of the best scenes in the movie.
When he tells her you never gave a shit about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was kind of unnecessary,
I like that every scene with her didn't matter.
So
except that one.
my
But I'm
take.
saying like it didn't need to be her.
Yeah.
It could have been somebody
Yeah.
else. The mom could have been talking to him about that.
So I'll give you my takeaway. So before going into it, I heard that it was slow, it was boring, that there wasn't any action till the end. I was thoroughly entertained the entire
No,
movie.
I was entertained. It was just a little too long.
See, I didn't think that. I thought maybe, I would agree, maybe 10 minutes. But when you're talking 5-10 minutes in the grand scheme of 2 hours, it's like, okay, like whatever. But I really enjoyed it. I loved that they gave his laugh as a medical condition. I actually really
That was
This
his
is
enjoyed
a
that.
serious medical condition.
That was
Somebody,
actually
I
cool.
think
No, it's a real thing.
the Chive or somebody put it up the other
Yeah,
day, and
I-
it was like the medical condition from the Joker is a serious condition.
No,
and
it's a
it
real thing
looks
because
awful.
Yeah.
It
And
looks
Maureen-
like the most terrible thing to have ever.
Maureen, who is my girlfriend, anyone who doesn't know, is in school to be a speech therapist. And once they said it, she got like all excited next to me. She's like, "That's a real thing. That's a real
yeah,
thing."
it's. I think that I never knew that, but two, I think
Yeah.
that's super cool that they chose to make that how his laugh, and that makes it. I think it makes it a lot better.
It makes it a little creepier too.
Yeah.
Just the way he goes from
He tries to-
laughing just to like then a straight face right after.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I've loved following the character. It made a lot of sense when, again, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't know
Don't
why you're
listen to the
listening.
I don't know why you
podcast.
would listen to this.
Can we'll find a time?
Probably in the next couple weeks, but
Yeah.
I love that because when he started doing all that stuff with the girl after he followed her, and there was no development between that relationship at all. So when there was no relationship between that at all, so when they realized it was fake, I was like, this is excellent. And obviously he kills her.
The neighbor?
Yeah.
He killed the neighbor?
That's my takeaway. He went like this, and he walked out, and then you never saw her again.
Yeah, they never really.
Yeah, but he never went back.
I think they left
the apartment again.
They left it very ambiguous, but
I didn't even. At no point in time did I think he killed the neighbor.
I did.
I loved the neighbor thing. I
felt like
hated
they
it while
kind
it
of
was happening.
It.
Because in my head, as a 30-year-old single male, and she's a fairly attractive woman. Like she was hot. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, she was hot. I was like, "Fuck this, dude! That guy's crazy. He sucks. How did he pull this girl and I can't get anything?"
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck that. That sucks. And then when it was like, "Hey, what are you doing in my apartment? You're whatever from down the hall," I was like, "All right." So it was also like a sigh of relief. Like, okay, at least he didn't get the hot girl. But also, I like that. Like he was imagining all those things.
And Hey guys, just a quick edit. It came out that the creators of the movie straight up said that he did not kill that girl.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Yes, they could have gotten to where they got quicker, but I enjoyed the ride. I really did.
All right, so let me ask you this question, because this was the biggest thing that bothered me.
I obviously have my problems with the movie.
Him being like a martyr, not a martyr because he didn't die, but like when they're like, they put him on the car, they break him out of the cop car, and like
he's the face.
He's a hero.
Which,
did that bother any of you?
They did this in Gotham.
One thing about that scene bothered me, and it's that the person in the car that you're trying to save is the only one in the car that doesn't die.
Well, that's a typical movie situation.
I hate that shit for movies where like you can just ram into a car
with an ambulance.
Every guard that you want to die is dead as shit.
Well,
and then the one person
this guy
you want
just
to save
has a scrape
is
on his
fine.
head.
Well, how about when The Dark Knight, when Bruce Wayne takes the brunt in the Lamborghini?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That truck would have ran through that Lamborghini like it was a piece of paper.
No, I agree. It's just that movie could have ended like I said, like 5 different times. I like the way it ended. I don't want a sequel. I'm sure they'll get one.
There's gonna be.
I don't want one.
It doesn't need one.
No, it doesn't need one. I don't think Joaquin Phoenix will do another one.
If you're not gonna have Batman, what the fuck do you need another Joker movie for?
I did not like it all, and again, this goes back to the political statement that they were making, and which I like. Anytime you bring politics into like the shit that I enjoy to get away from politics, it
I
seriously angers me.
Which is actually kind of funny. I didn't even pick up. Like I didn't.
I
give
did
that.
for sure.
I didn't give that 2 cents.
It had been brought to my attention prior to watching.
Okay, so then you were
so
like,
that was so it was aware. Like it was
Well, the whole movie is a social like for mental.
Yeah, but like and then it's like the rich versus poor thing. Like I don't like that Thomas Wayne was a dick.
No, I don't like that.
That was my biggest problem with the movie. As soon as you see him and he's a dick, I got really angry.
Why? Yeah,
he's not supposed to be a dick.
No, he's supposed to be a wing.
I'm alright with him being somebody who like is not a dick, but also doesn't care about the Joker's whatever his name was in the movie. Like Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker. I'm just gonna call him that, but he does have a name. I forget what it is.
Arthur Fleck.
Arthur Fleck. Like if he's a guy who just doesn't care about this stranger. That's okay.
Especially since
the fact that he's a complete dick in every regard, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the fat Alfred.
Oh, I didn't care about that.
Yeah, it's just subtle things.
See,
it wasn't a game changer for me.
That's
but like Alfred didn't like the Alfred that popped up didn't seem like Alfred.
I think
it's something that I thought about.
I think there's just been so much Batman stuff that I'm okay with interpretation. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but with me personally, I'm okay with interpretation. Give me something else, but don't claim it as canon. And I don't think they did with this. But
they did. I mean, I agree with you there, but Thomas and Martha Wayne are supposed to be like
the staple. Yeah, but I'm okay if you twist that. They're perfectly fine with that.
Gotham
You're
sucks.
You're alright with Thomas Wayne being a dick?
No, because it's supposed to be like, hey, Gotham sucks, but look, Thomas and Martha Wayne are trying to make it better.
I don't care. It's not a movie about Batman. It's a movie about a fucked up person. About the Joker. Also, the movie is from the Joker's point of view. So,
but my problem with that is they made him a dick to make you identify with the Joker even more.
I don't want to,
but it was unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't want to feel
they did
like
enough of that already.
The Joker.
Yeah, he's got a mental condition. His life sucks. I'm already identifying with the guy.
It's all right.
So that's my biggest issue with this movie. You should not be able to rationalize with the Joker
With a sociopath.
at all. And there's people.
That's why I don't think
walking-
the Joker should have an origin.
No, I don't think so either. That's why that scares me when people go and hey, I get where I get where that guy's where he's coming from
you
and why
shouldn't.
he's doing.
No.
Yeah.
I heard somebody laugh in my theater when he shot Murray. And I was like, I'm scared.
That would have scared me to death.
Changes that you liked or would have liked to see implemented into a Batman comic movie. Is there something going forward from this film that you would like them to use as going forward for the Joker or for a Batman film, like a template that they use they paint it?
I liked the realistic aspect
Yes.
of the Joker. So, like, yes, the Joker has his story with Ace Chemicals and like the Jack Nicholson. That's they run it the way that it is in the comics better than anybody. Like the actual Michael Keaton Batman version of it. But I like the idea of the Joker just being like organically crazy. Like he's crazy because he has a mental condition and because his life sucks. And they gave you why. And I'm okay with that. Like, I actually like that. Giving villains a realistic backstory. Not he fell into a vat of chemicals and now this is what happens when he comes out. Like, that is something that I would like to see more of. And not to, because this isn't focused on Marvel today, but like Marvel does that better than
Tony
like
Stark.
they've started to do that.
Tony Stark fucks someone up.
Yeah, like Tony's like it's revenge. It's this like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He has an organic backstory.
I enjoyed the realistic.
It's not just a crazy villain. It makes sense.
Like most of
it could happen.
Most
like
of the villains in the
happen.
MCU are like that. It's like, hey, the Avengers fucked something up, and now there's a new villain.
Whereas,
2 movies later.
Black Manta is just super overpowered, incredibly technologically advanced guy for no reason. He starts a movie that way.
Yeah. I mean, he hates Aquaman because he was committing a crime and Aquaman killed his dad.
Ares is Ares. Like there's and I love Wonder Woman. Like that's the only DC movie that I actually like. Ares, no, it's a god. Like it starts that way.
Shazam.
But like
the
you
bad
have
guys taking over. So that
in
makes
DC,
sense.
you have Darkseid, who is like one of my favorite comic book characters ever. Like he's just a dick. He just likes to conquer shit.
Yeah. It's their Thanos.
Yeah. I agree with Bob. I like the organic.
Yeah, I would agree. So I'd like to see that. That's what Nolan did, and that's why I love those Batman.
Nolan
movies.
is awesome also because the League of Shadows happens, and the League of Shadows is like you're kind of confused, but it doesn't tell you too much.
Yeah.
The Joker.
Tell
You have no idea. He gives you 3 different origins throughout the course of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how I got these scars, right? And it makes you, like,
and then there was
enjoy it. Harvey Dent. You see how it happens, and it happens organically. That's what changes him.
Same thing with Bane.
And Bane, you see it, like, I don't like the idea of just having a villain to have a villain.
And to credit, a lot of Batman characters are just like that. A lot of villains in Batman.
Yeah, none of them are like really overpowered. Most
All
of
right,
them just
so
kind
now,
of put on a suit.
But so here's the issue, though, and we say that, and we talk about the Nolan movies are good. The Marvel movies, their villains don't do well generally.
Yeah,
lately they've been better, but
a lot
like
of people always have something.
the
bad to say.
villains are kind of like they kind of fall flat at some point in the film. Think about all the villains that DC has had. Right? And they just are there and they show up.
I probably couldn't even name 2.
All right, well, go through it. Man of Steel, who's the bad guy?
Zod.
Zod. And Zod shows up, already powerful, already a villain for no given reason. Right?
Well,
They explain it. It has to do with Krypton, but like
he's a military leader. He has control over his senses. Like what took Clark years to.
But I'm saying
figure out.
He shows up as a villain.
Yeah,
there's no real reason for him to hate Superman or Clark Kent or the Earth as much as he does.
Not the Earth, but Clark, because his parents banished.
Yeah, but like
banished him to the Phantom Zone. So that makes sense. But the Earth, they want. I guess, and they want to take it over for the new Krypton.
There could be more explanation there.
I agree.
Batman vs Superman.
Fuck that
it's
movie.
It's just Lex, right? And
fuck
Lex doesn't make any sense whatsoever at all.
I fucking hate that movie.
So do I.
Yeah.
You go Justice League.
That's okay. I actually don't mind that movie.
Steppenwolf, though,
that
just
shit
shows up,
shit.
right?
He's
and
so
he looks
bad.
like shit. You know what I mean? Like, Everything about these movies.
I feel like Steppenwolf is supposed to be like working for Darkseid, right?
Yeah.
Which they don't really.
They tried to hint at,
Fully
I think, or
explain.
something. I don't know. The Justice League movie was rushed, in my opinion.
Yeah, they should have just taken a few years and set it up.
So, where our villains are, I think this is a good template to use to base your villains. Ground them, make them realistic, give them a motive, and what has transformed them. But I mean, the Joker is just psychotic, and what he was doing, there really was no rhyme or reason to why he killed Mary, other than he made fun of him.
Yeah.
He
had an opportunity to kill somebody on air, so why not do that?
So moving forward, that's what we would like to see as fans, and I think they did that with Shazam.
Shazam, I liked.
I was a big
Same
fan of
thing. Savannah is not the greatest established villain. They
No.
do give you a backstory though.
And, like,
they
he
tell
was
you him
taken
as a
over.
kid, and like they give you all that. So it's better.
Backtracking to Batman itself, there was no Batman in this film. At the end of the film, they obviously set it up. Does Batman belong in this universe?
Because it doesn't make
No,
sense.
I'd rather.
How
just be
young
a
was
one-off.
Bruce?
I don't know, 12, like the
Yeah,
normal
he was-
age.
Well, what he's
'Cause-
like what?
because-
10
and
or
they-
12 when or 8? No, I thought he was 8 when his parents died.
He
Yeah,
would
so
never.
he would
He
be-
would never verse Joaquin's.
That's what I'm
Joker.
saying. So
He's
it
too
doesn't
old.
make sense because Joe Chill, conceivably, if that's even who it is here, kills Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne in the alley, while Joaquin Phoenix is becoming the Joker. So now that would give the Joker 10 years
So
of like reign.
Yeah.
So
in
I
Gotham?
said that it's like Gotham, where the Joker is a movement. At the end, when I bowed out of that show because that show got big.
Never watched it, but wasn't Bruce very young on that show too? It was
Yeah.
more about
Yeah, he was.
it wasn't
Gordon?
about. It was more about Gordon.
Yeah.
And the villains rising.
yeah.
So Batman does not belong in this universe. So
No.
like again, I wrote these questions before I even saw this movie. I said, if there was a sequel, where could you see the series taking this version of the character?
The only sequel that I want of this movie is based around Arkham.
That'd be awesome.
That's all I
would
want.
watch
I don't
that.
want him dealing with Batman. I don't really want a movement at all. I want a plot line that is based around being like not Shawshank, but almost like Shawshank.
Arkham City.
Like an Arkham Asylum plot line that is based around that hospital, deals with the other villains.
Dude, they should just make Arkham Asylum
Like one flew
like the
over
video game.
One
I
flew
never-
over the cuckoo's nest, but it's the
Yeah,
Joker.
it's a comedy. It's just funny. It's goofy. Chief is
And Jack Nicholson is like an orderly, just as like a nod to him being
the Joker.
So-
the Joker, and also
the
in One Flew
equivalent
Over
of the
Cuckoo's
Chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is Solomon Grundy. He throws a sink through the window so they can all get out at some point.
Shane, would you agree? You would like to see Arkham Asylum?
I would
as a
like an
film?
Arkham Asylum movie. Yeah, I feel
That
like
game
Arkham
is
Asylum
awesome.
isn't shown enough in
I
any
never.
movie.
Well, no, he means the game. I never played the game. You've played the Batman games.
Yeah, I know what he's
What's
talking
Arkham
about.
Asylum's plot?
It's the Joker
The
takes
Joker-
over Arkham,
Yeah, he takes over the
and
the
all
asylum.
all the villains are free.
All right, so that's what I want minus Batman. So now it's up
Yeah.
to Gordon and the guys Gotham to deal with it. Or there's a plot as to why he does it. He's going to escape. He wants to escape. I don't care what they do. If they make it a prison break movie, that's fine. But it needs to be focused around the institution itself.
You know what
Yeah,
they
I
had
would
a
like that.
perfect opportunity to do in Joker, and they didn't do it? The detectives. It could have been Bullock and Gordon, and it would have been perfect.
I don't remember them showing up at all.
The
Detectives,
detectives that were
Shea Wiggum's
researching
character.
the guys he kills in the subway.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought they were going to be Bullock and
Shit.
Gordon, and they weren't.
Did they not give them names at all?
No, they had names. But it wasn't
okay.
that.
They're just insignificant. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, they might be in Batman lore, but I didn't know them. So I actually like that idea. That's cool. So,
Is there something you would want to see? Like you made this question. Was there
Yeah.
something you had in mind?
well, if it's before I saw the movie, after seeing the movie, I don't want a sequel.
No, yeah, that's I don't want to see.
Where they could take him is he is in Arkham, and they could have him flip and start running Arkham like he does in the video game.
Like that was the end of the movie, right? Was him running away from the
From-
orderlies and stuff like
yeah,
that.
after
like
he
that,
killed the social
I'm
worker.
cool with that. I'm cool with just complete Arkham nonsense.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So
This next question,
it was detectives Burke and Garrity.
yeah.
No,
So,
I got
nobody.
nothing on that.
Who the
So
fuck
I mean,
knows?
part of that is cool, where it's like they're not, but then it's also like you have a perfect opportunity. to maybe continue or build a franchise around this. Because my understanding, again, before I saw this movie, I thought they would set it up for a sequel, was that maybe if their next wave of movies failed, that they could base this off of this.
But so this isn't DCU. So do you think
Nah,
that they're
it's
trying?
considered DC Black Label.
Okay, so I was gonna say, do you think that they're trying to build?
Because you didn't
kind
even
of
see the DC logo in this
another-
movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, you didn't. Another well to pull from
Yeah.
because the DCU is not.
So we're gonna get
But
into.
they make money.
We're gonna get
Those
into
movies
DCU.
make money. They just don't
Not
make
much.
Marvel money.
Justice League didn't make what they were helping, but
Do
so
they make a profit?
barely.
Okay.
So going into the next one, I have ranking the Jokers, and I changed my mind to because I think ranking the Jokers is somewhat clear, but I actually want to rank the Jokers' laughs, and who has the best laugh.
Either way, I think it's the same.
I
if you
hated
go by,
Phoenix's laugh,
If you
actually.
go
I
by,
loved his
Hated it.
laugh
I hated his life.
when
I
he
thought
was
it was
just
better
like
Wow,
that.
yeah, sometimes it was all right, but it sounded like he was crying a lot, and I didn't like that.
because sometimes
Not
he
the
was.
one where he couldn't control it.
Yeah.
The one where he was like the scene where he's walking from all the guys in the locker room
Yeah.
to the front, and he just stops.
Because sometimes he was like crying, but he had the condition, so he was laughing on top of it.
It's so for me, like the best laugh is Hamill.
I actually agree with that. I like the Hamill laugh.
Yeah, the Hamill laugh is good. Because
Like
the
that.
Hamill one is the video game. I've
It's the
really,
video game, it's the TV
really,
show.
Yeah,
I
the
fucking
animated
love Joaquin
series.
Phoenix laugh.
See, it bothered me. I don't know why.
And I'm okay with
And
that.
it might have been me
bothering
not liking the movie.
That could
So
have
I
been.
didn't like, you know what I mean? Like I was me just nitpicking things, and I didn't not like the movie. Let me take that back.
It's a pretty good movie.
I did. I enjoyed the movie at the end, but while I was watching the movie, there were times when I was watching the movie where I was like, "Is this almost done yet?" You know what I mean?
So
Like,
the
can this be over?
the real tell for this movie though is when we go back and rewatch it and say,
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
do I have a desire to rewatch it? I do, but will I?
I don't know. I've seen
The Dark Knight a
1,000
shit ton of
times, yeah.
times because it's such a good movie.
His laugh,
I love his laugh.
but not
yeah,
not the
especially,
his laugh on this list is probably 3 for me.
I would say the scene when Batman's interrogating him, and like he
Good cop, bad cop routine. That one.
yeah, I can't think.
I
can't
saw
think of
some
what he
guy
says.
dressed as the Joker yesterday at the show. At I went and saw Hamilton yesterday.
As
He was
Ledger Joker.
and he had the shirt,
Yeah.
and he had his hair. So I'm assuming he was. Hopefully he was going to a Halloween party after the show in the city
Yeah.
because it's around Halloween
Or
time.
he just doesn't care and just
Or
was
he had his,
fucking-
his hair spray
I'm just-
painted. He had the
he
white
was-
makeup.
Maybe he wasn't dressed like the Joker. Maybe that was just his normal appearance.
Oh, yeah,
his hair
Assuming.
spray painted
He was going to
green.
commit some murders. I think.
Maybe. So let's rank your Jokers.
Not
we're-
based solely on the laugh, just Jokers.
The ones that we're going to count is Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, Joaquin Phoenix, Cesar Romero from the 1960s Batman show, and Mark Hamill. Obviously, we have left out the god-awful Joker that is
He
Jared
didn't play
Leto.
the Joker.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. He played a mobster that wore face paint.
I don't know what you're talking about. I remember when he was the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, but I don't think he ever played the
Wait,
Joker.
Jared Leto, the guy from Fight Club that gets the shit beat out of him?
Yeah, that
Oh, he's
guy.
in that. I'm at Dallas
Yeah.
Buyers Club, the
Yeah.
one, that guy.
He got
won the
AIDS.
Academy
He had
Award from.
AIDS,
Yep.
right?
So here are my Jokers, in a very particular order. Very rare for me on this
That's
show.
very
yes,
off character. For you.
yes, very rare for me. I go Ledger is first as the Joker. So I just said I didn't really like his laugh either.
Ooh, and I thought my jokes were bad.
He's probably third best laugh. Everything else he says to me is
Perfect.
super Jokery.
Perfect.
Like I love like the pencil
How about
scene.
a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Ta-da! It's gone.
Because I'm gonna make this disappear.
Yeah.
Or like we watched it. It was actually on the day after I saw the Joker when he burns all the money. Mm-hmm. Like the everything about
Not
him.
about the money.
Yeah, it's not it's not all Ledger. Part of it is Nolan, like creating a really good Joker. But
but
Ledger,
to inhabit that Joker's.
yeah, Ledger's one. It's kind of like a 2A 2B situation because it's a different scenario. Mark Hamill, I'm gonna go 2, but Mark Hamill's never played the Joker. Like you don't see Mark Hamill,
No.
so like the cartoon. The drawing and the animation helps his voice also. So I'm gonna go like Mark Hamill would be 2, and then Jack Nicholson is 3, but like 2A, 2B for me. Like
So
they're both 2 in
The
my
closest I ever got to seeing him was when he played Trickster on the Flash,
yeah.
which he was very close.
But he was old too. Like he's
Yeah, yeah.
old now. So
I would say Mark Hamill has the best laugh.
he does have the best laugh.
It's incredible.
It's like
It's
eerie.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Harley.
So I go Ledger, Hamill, Nicholson. You can flip flop those, to be honest.
Yeah, give me your top 3. You don't got to give me your 5.
Well, no, I'll go, and then it's Joaquin Phoenix, and then Romero, because Romero it's a different Joker entirely.
He had I love his mustache.
Yeah.
Shane, go ahead. Give me your rank.
That was exactly what I would have said.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say you got to pick Nicholson or Hamill's 2. Who do you put?
I would put Hamill.
Okay.
Mark Hamill, yeah.
Because if you say
See,
if I said Nicholson 2, Hamill 3, I'm not mad about that either.
I would have flipped it. See, the old Batman with Michael Keaton, I really like. I'm a big fan of Jack
Ever
Nicholson.
Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
that.
Jack
It's a
Nicholson
great
as
line.
a Joker. But I just
See-
Mark Hamill's laugh is just perfect. So I have to put him second.
I grew up watching a lot of the animated Batman stuff, so I would put him. My ranking would be Heath, Mark, Jack Nicholson, Joaquin, and then Cesar Romero.
So
So I
same,
think we all have
same
the
across
exact
the board.
board, yeah.
Then this is the only thing I'm saying. Is the only reason that I'm taking like this into consideration. And I had the same ranking. We all agreed with my ranking. Hamill has never portrayed it live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
still
like Nicholson, Ledger, they embody the
But
Joker. All he has
going-
to do is a voice.
What RP said, going off of in the Flash series when he played the Trickster, if they would have called him the Joker, he still would have been doing a very good job.
Yeah, but it's just you know what I mean. Like it's a different thing to sit behind him. That's like if you were to if we were having this conversation, if we were acting out this podcast, is much different than me sitting and talking into this mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, and I have Hamill too because of his laugh, but to be the Joker, like to embody all the mannerisms, all the other dumb shit that Hamill doesn't have to do,
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree if somebody said Nicholson should be 2.
So, yeah,
He was really good.
this is it's a solid to put any of them to rank them. And they all did a great job.
I feel like that
To be
Batman movie
honest.
doesn't get talked about enough.
It's just because it's
Well,
old.
because it's older. Yeah.
And then
It's like
I'm
how
a
many people
huge-
talk?
I'm a huge
Christopher
fan of that
Nolan.
movie.
How many
But that
people
was-
talk about Superman, the original Superman?
nobody anymore.
Nobody really talks about
That
it anymore.
movie's really good. What's the second one? Batman Returns.
with Danny DeVito.
And then Batman.
That's a good
then
movie.
Batman and Robin sucked.
There was Batman Forever.
Batman
and
Forever
Robin.
is actually better than
Batman Forever was okay.
Batman Forever is underrated.
But Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face were both very good.
That's
So-
why that movie's underrated because
So-
of those two.
So Jim Carrey used to say Tommy Lee Jones was such a dick to him on set.
So
It was probably the other way around if I knew.
Batman
Jim
Forever
Carrey.
is actually seriously.
It's
Batman
actually a decent movie.
Batman Forever
I
is
like
a
Batman
really good
Forever.
movie.
Not a huge Val
and
Kilmer fan.
There's
of
a
Batman,
very
though.
good line in that movie where the
You
guy
say-
who plays Robin, I forget his name.
Chris,
He's on like CSI.
Christopher something.
Yeah, he says like holy metal greats Batman. Like, he says like a Robin thing, and Val Kilmer is like what? And he said, look, he points down, and it's like literally like a metal grate with holes in it. He's like, there's metal grates with holes. Like he's like, but he does. It's just like a good nod to like the holy whatever
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris
Chris
O'Donnell.
O'Donnell, that's it.
He's from
See-
CSI, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think so.
Yeah,
Hold
one
on,
of the
let me find out.
CSIs, one of the 1,000 CSI. shows.
NCIS.
NCIS. I think it's NCIS actually. Yeah.
L.A.
It's not listed as his four.
It's with Ice.
or most-
He's
most
with
known.
Ice T.
So let me see.
Ice T.
Yeah, NCIS.
NCIS.
It's not Ice T. That's
See if-
that's for you.
That's SVU.
Oh.
He's
If-
with LL Cool J.
LL Cool J.
If
yeah.
Batman Forever had Michael Keaton instead of Val Kilmer,
10
it would
times
be
better.
way up there on the list. But I don't like Val Kilmer as Batman.
No, he's
Find
not
me
that
a Michael Keaton movie that I don't like.
good. Birdman.
Never seen it, but I heard it was really good.
I didn't like it.
It's good.
But like,
It's
if
boring.
Keaton's
It's
in a
little
movie,
slow.
odds are I'm a big fan.
I love.
I
Michael
agree with
Keaton.
you, but challenge accepted. I'm gonna try to find a movie now.
So while Shane continues to look, what other characters would you like to see get this treatment? It can be villain. It can even be it can be a hero with a dark twist.
Bane, but mostly just because I really like Bane's
It has
origin.
to be like an anti-hero,
No, it doesn't. It can
or
be
like
anyone.
a hero with a dark
It can be
twist.
any character.
I see. I really like Bane's origin, so I would really like a whole movie just devoted to Bane.
Bane would be cool.
Just like a Bane backstory, no Batman involved. Just
No Batman.
I think the easiest one to do is the Penguin, like this, because he has it. That you could make him have it.
That's a
birth
scenario where I
Yeah.
don't want to see it because I love Danny DeVito.
Effect. Yeah,
Like his
but
Penguin's so creepy.
It's
I would.
too good.
I love my favorite Batman villain is the Riddler. So obviously, I'd love to see the Riddler get this treatment.
Which has not been done well. As good as Jim Carrey is,
And they
the
just-
Riddler has been like shifted in the comics where he's a very like twisted.
And they just cast Paul Dano from Swiss Army Man to play the Riddler. In the
So who's
new
Jonah
Batman.
Hill? I thought he was.
He's
the
out.
other.
He's out. He was going to
Okay.
be Penguin.
I think Shane said he wanted $10 million.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Too
they were
much.
like,
That's
no.
too much.
So which I like because DC usually casts big names for their movies.
Who's Paul Dano?
He's not a big time actor, but
Wait,
he was
has he
in
been in anything?
Swiss Army
I
Man.
found a Michael
I
Keaton
don't know
movie
that
that
either.
sucks.
What is it?
He was in the remake of RoboCop.
I didn't see that.
It was
But
terrible.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But I'm sure he was great.
Based
in it.
on the phrase "the remake of RoboCop," I believe that it was.
I'm
good.
sure he killed it, but that was a terrible movie.
So who else? You know who else?
Speaking of him killing it, he was also in The Other Guys as the captain.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he's great. In
He's
that.
incredible
That's what I'm saying.
in that.
The other guys, Spider-Man, Far From Homecoming, like he's awesome.
So another character
This
that
Paul Dano dude looks like he could be the Riddler. I'm sorry to cut
it's
you
a
off.
it's a Sideburns. So another character that I would actually really like to see get this treatment is Poison Ivy. I am a
I
big
would
fan
like
of
that.
Poison Ivy.
All right,
I like Poison Ivy.
I'm still on Paul Dano. I apologize. For
Basically,
listeners
every
who don't know
Batman
who Paul
villain.
Dano is, if you've ever seen Little Miss Sunshine,
See, I
he's the
said-
kid who couldn't join the Air Force because he was colorblind.
I
That's the
said,
guy.
I recognize him from There Will Be Blood. With,
I haven't.
I feel like that's
And
not a
I-
very well known
obviously,
I
I-
drank his milkshake.
And obviously, I recommended him. I recognize him from one of his weirdest movies, probably.
I thought
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was.
RP recognized him from his Spank Bank.
I thought he was Dax Shepard at first. So anybody listening, look up Paul Dano and then look up Dax Shepard. They're like exactly the same.
yeah.
It looks like he could be his son.
So
But anyway, back to this.
Poison Ivy's an easy one.
Any Batman villain you could give this treatment to, even the ketchup and mayo guy,
Victor Zaz.
Ketchup
or
and
Kite
milk.
Man, the Kite Man.
Kite Man.
Victor
yeah.
Zaz, just because I haven't seen much on
Victor
Zaz.
Zaz doesn't.
Whoa,
do-
all right,
like,
so-
Victor Zaz is a hard villain to have a story for, because all he is a serial killer.
So I
Yeah, but-
do want to talk about Zaz, but I'm
What's-
going to save that for when
what's
we
the-
discuss the atrocity that is Birds of Prey.
I'd rather have Hush
I
Hush
would
would be good.
like Hush too.
or.
But I love
Ra's al-
Zaz
not
as a
Ra's al
villain,
Ghul.
and he's just so underutilized.
Scarecrow would be an easy one to do like this.
Yeah.
yeah. I want to see a Barbara Gordon. Like
I would
a
like-
well done, legitimate Barbara Gordon.
I would like a full Mr. Freeze movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger with all the stupid puns.
And
from
honestly,
Chill
no
out.
Batman, no nothing else. Just Mr. Freeze staring at a camera, saying puns for
just
2
saying
hours.
puns. Saying ice-related puns.
I want to see. All right, so here's what I want. This is what I want to see happen, and none of this is what you asked, but I'm going to say it anyway. I want to see the Bat Family
Yeah.
live action as like. So I don't care.
Bat Family to what extent? Like
I want
how many?
I want.
Tim
Dick,
Drake.
Obviously
I want
Nightwing
Dick. I want Dick
and Tim
Grayson
Drake.
already as Nightwing.
Okay,
Has
so
been
then,
Batman.
So then you'd have Tim Drake,
I want Tim Drake.
Barbara.
I want Barbara. I'm all right with having Damien.
Okay.
And
what
then
about
I'm all right with having Jason Todd as the Red Hood. If
Red
if
Hood,
that
okay.
if the movie is the Red Hood, even better, right? But you have to explain all of that.
So what they should do is Pattinson's pretty young. He's like in his middle 30s, I think.
Yeah.
Late 30s. You can use in terms of building movies like 2 and 3 years at a time. But he's young enough where they could build the Bat Family.
They could.
But they're
I'm
not
sure
going
DC
to.
would rush it and just have the Bat Family established.
It's going to be a
already.
Bat Family in the first movie. Which
So-
I'm all right with Nightwing exists, and you give kind of like a quick rundown.
So do you
about
want
where it was.
So a good take with this might be Red Hood.
Yeah, Red Hood is the way to do this.
So
But you have to establish that Jason Todd was killed by the Joker, and all
Yeah.
that stuff happens. Cause
But you could easily do that with a flashback.
but like, we've all seen the animated version of Under the Red Hood.
yeah.
I
That-
actually just finished reading it. Like
That's
yesterday.
but you watched the animated one before, right?
Yeah.
That scene where he's screaming about the Joker is an animated like it's an animated movie. It's one of my favorite scenes of anything.
That's a
Yeah,
fantastic. If
really
you have
good.
not
It's
seen
a
Under
very
the Red
well
Hood,
done
it's very
cartoon.
Yeah.
So, kind of going with this, would you like to see that DC use this as a launching pad on how they grow their new universe, or would you like to see them maybe something like a DC Black Label, Dark Label, where they can do these versions, but they can also have the Shazam universe exist?
I want two.
Two universes,
Yeah,
yeah. I'd like to see a bunch of one-offs.
Shazam, yeah, exactly. Because I don't want sequels. I'm all right. Like the Joker is now done. Don't come back to this. Let it go.
See, I want them to do live action like they do their animated, where they can just like pick up a story, do it, and then be done with it. Like it doesn't have to have.
Yeah,
a
but
sequel.
it's harder to do that with live action because people like animated. If I'm gonna watch the animated movie, it implies that I already have an idea of what this is about,
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
I have the backstory. If I'm going to see, like, I went to see the Joker with people whose only understanding of Batman is the movies.
Well, yeah, I went with Maureen.
Yeah, so like
She
if
only
I
knows,
go
like,
in,
Christopher Nolan.
if I go in and now, Jason Todd is the Red
Yeah.
Hood and Tim Drake is Robin, and then there's another guy named Nightwing, and I don't know who any of the fuck these
Yeah,
people
you're
are.
right. I probably would have had to explain.
It's like
that.
what's going on. You know what I mean? So like, it's hard to do that with a movie that you're going to put out in theaters. So you have to
like-
establish
I
it
feel
at
like that's
some
on
point.
you though. If you're going to see a movie, you should
Yeah,
do some background.
But you have to establish it in some regard.
But also,
in the
you
film.
should be able to sit down and watch a movie and completely understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's their job.
If I'm going to pay $12,
Unless you're jumping into, like, the 22nd movie of the Marvel Universe,
Yeah,
where they
that's
bring in
fine.
Star-Lord.
And then
Like,
they
then you're,
expect
okay,
you to
that's
know
on
it.
you, yeah. So I agree they should do two separate universes because
and then
it's just it's a better for us fans. We get more, and we also get different iterations. But
Yeah.
could you see what would your feeling be if they put this Joker? They just threw him in to the new Batman movie.
here's my thing with this. So a cameo is fine. I don't want him to be a villain in a movie.
The main villain.
No, because he's not.
I think
a
they need to
villain.
take a break from the.
He's
Joker
not that
as a
crazy to
villain.
be a real villain.
Yeah, he's also not that like. I
Like,
feel like
yes-
the Joker has to be able to like come up with a plan. He just seems like he's just
Like
random.
yes, he
anarchy,
killed
yeah.
a person.
Random.
He killed,
random.
he killed 4 people over the course of the movie.
Yeah.
But killing 4 people in Gotham does not warrant
Yeah.
Batman coming after you and you being his arch nemesis.
Exactly.
He has to like be the Joker and Batman, where
I
he's
wanna
trying to kill everyone.
I want to
Yeah.
see the next time they do the Joker versus Batman. I want to see back to Jack Nicholson type where it's really comic booky. That's what I want. I want
I'm
the
alright
video
with Heath
games.
Ledger.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
No, Heath Ledger's great. They did it though, but
Yeah.
and nobody will ever be able. I really don't think anybody will ever be able to take on Heath Ledger's Joker.
Because that, again, it's the same thing that we talked about before. Heath Ledger's scenario, yes, it's outlandish because it's a movie, but it's a decision-making process for Batman. Like, I'm putting you in a fucking spot because I'm crazy, and I want you to kill me.
Yeah,
And here are your choices. Figure this out without killing me.
you have your one rule.
Yeah.
Like I said, could this character ever blend into the world of Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam?
I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
Birds of Prey, you have that written on here as like one of your questions.
I hope that gets
We're not
shit
gonna-
canned because
we're
I don't
not-
want to see it.
I just want to see Margot Robbie's butt for 2
So
hours.
while we're here, let's fucking talk about Birds of Prey.
I don't want to talk about it.
So I'm just going to give viewers who don't know, or listeners, what's going on. So I heard over the week, about a couple weekends ago, the potential plot for Birds of Prey. So this popped up as a rumor about a year ago and has since resurfaced. It has good reason. Black Mask is the bad guy, and
That's
he is
Ewan
homosexual,
McGregor. It's fine.
and which is absolutely fine. Who cares?
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah.
I don't hate him. in the
I
trailer.
didn't listen to it, but I watched it. I'm okay with his take on the character. I just like him. I want him to wear the mask, though.
Yes.
I heard that it might be one of the kinky black masks. Like,
Don't
Like
like
a
that.
leather mask,
Like
Because-
like Pulp Fiction.
like the Gimp from
Yeah,
Pulp
yeah,
Fiction.
Pulp
so
Fiction.
the plot of this movie is that one of the Birds of Prey finds his dick pic on a jewel that they stole. And it's
That's-
inside, maybe like on a USB or something like that, and
Fucking
that's why
stupid.
he's after them. And he's in love
Is
with
any of
Victor's.
this confirmed?
Not confirmed, but if you look at the poster and how they represent Victor Zsasz,
Victor Zsasz is very feminine on the poster, and I'm all right with him being
Doesn't
gay
he
too.
have
It doesn't
blonde
bother me
hair?
either.
he's bald.
He's-
and
Yeah, he
he's
should be bald,
psychotic.
really.
I thought he's
None of that
but
bothers
he's-
me, though.
He's blonde on the poster, right? He's supposed to be completely bald.
Yeah, but that's not killing me.
He's
Where's this dick pic thing coming
but he's
from?
not blonde. He's bleach blonde. Like, he did it to himself. Like Eminem 8 Mile, he bleached his hair.
So he's coming off.
I don't
and
like
he's
it.
very flashy, which is not
don't
his.
like
He's a very simple man, and I'm always down for takes on characters, but this seems like a really big stretch. Anytime you base a movie off a dick pic, now the dick pic is just coming from an inside rumor.
Yeah, so
This could be complete. This could be
I
absolutely
don't know.
completely
So-
wrong.
I'm just gonna fight this tooth and nail because that's such a bad fucking
yeah,
premise that I
sounds so
can't
dumb.
believe that that's
If you know
real.
anything about Black Mask, he's like the head of the criminal underground. He doesn't give a fuck if he's dick
So
pic
he's
gets
in
leaked.
love. He's in love with Zaz.
He also wouldn't be in love with somebody. All he cares
But,
about
that's
is
like,
ruling
again,
Gotham.
Doesn't matter to me.
And
If
Zaz
he's in love
would
with
not-
Zaz, I'm alright with that. If Zaz is blonde hair, it doesn't matter to me. I can live with all this stuff.
I can live with interpretation on a character, but Zaz
I
is a
can't
sociopath,
live
psychopath
with
killer. He
dick
does-
pic being the fucking conflict.
I hope
That's
this.
my biggest issue with the movie as well.
I hope this gets released a little bit from now, and it comes
Like 40
It
years?
comes out that this. Yeah.
Like when we're dead.
You think you're gonna be dead in 40 years?
I thought he said 4 years. I was like, oh, okay, that's.
But like, I hope it comes out that this isn't the premise at all, and we just sound like assholes.
That's what I'm saying. This is so hypothetical, and there's
Like,
been rumors.
I legitimately think. Like, I hope we sound like assholes because I don't want this. To be
I
the
would love
premise.
to be an
any
asshole
movie,
right now.
any movie centered around a fucking dick pic is ridiculous. And I thought
Stupid.
when I heard
Unless
they were
it's like The Hangover. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
premise is that it's a joke. I'm alright with that.
no
What's
superhero movie.
what's that movie with Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz, where they
Sex tape.
sex tape? Yeah, where they accidentally send it out to everybody.
Is that
Like,
movie even
that's
good?
legitimately what this is.
No,
I
I
don't know.
didn't
Haven't
think that
seen it
was
because it
funny.
sounds fucking stupid.
So, again, this could all be fake. It could be rumored, but it seems like a strong suspicion that is. Again, all for interpretation. It's, sexuality. I don't give a shit. But changing a character like Zaz, who's a psychopath, to give him any type of redeeming quality where he is able to feel or give love and affection, I'm not on board. And especially not any film that is any superhero film that is around a dick pic. No, thank you. I thought that they were getting themselves back on track when I heard they were making this film. I was excited. I was like, this will be cool.
I wasn't, actually. And I love Margot Robbie, and I love her as Harley Quinn. I actually don't like how she looks as Harley Quinn.
I do.
If
She's
that
a little
makes
cartoonish.
sense.
That's why I like it.
I don't like all the tattoos. You
See,
know, maybe
like-
that's
I
like...
don't care.
So with Harley Quinn, when I think of Harley, I think of like from the comics when she's head to toe with the whole outfit.
The red, yeah.
I think Suicide Squad they try to go too much with the sex appeal with Margot Robbie, but that's not what Harley looks like.
No. I like it. I just like it.
She's
I
in like the
her.
whole
No, she
the whole
doesn't
Jester
bother
outfit.
me. It's just like... So if you watch the
They did
trailer...
that in Suicide Squad for a brief second.
Yeah.
If you watch the trailer for Birds of Prey, she's in like 15 different outfits. Everything looks different every time. I don't like the inconsistency stuff.
Yeah. So that's my take on Birds of Prey, and I hope to God I'm fucking wrong.
All right, so here's the thing, right? It comes out in February,
Yeah.
if
yes.
I'm reading this correctly.
Yeah.
What?
So
we
what is-
have to have a plot soon, don't we?
Yeah, we have to get like a
Like
A
if I
more
go on
in-depth
IMDb right now, it's gonna give me something.
It just
yes?
it's just Black Mask.
no.
is after
It doesn't
them.
because I looked up when he told me about the dick pic thing. I looked up IMDb on Birds of Prey,
But I'm saying
and
it's
it
gonna
didn't
have
really
a
give me
premise,
anything.
right?
It didn't give me anything.
So this is what we're seeing from DC. This is what they're putting out. What do we expect from DC in the future? So far, they've had back-to-back good films. Shazam and The Joker. They're good films. Has DC made a course correction with their recent films? Or are the days of Batman vs Superman behind
I
us?
think
Obviously,
they-
with what we just talked about, Birds of Prey,
Yeah.
maybe not. But what do you guys think?
I think they just got lucky with 2 movies.
Not
like,
lucky,
with
but,
Shazam-
like, it's been a good order.
Shazam, they went frame for frame pretty much how the comic was, which is like one of my all-time favorites. Mm-hmm. So that's why that was really good.
Yeah.
Joker is a one-off, so it doesn't matter if that's good or not.
Potentially. I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
Warner Brothers is looking for anything to continue this DC cash train.
See, that's what doesn't
so-
make sense. They're like making money, but their movies aren't good.
Well, people are gonna like.
People
They're
are gonna
like us.
see it regardless.
It's like Venom.
We've seen all of them.
It's like Venom. We
We've
didn't want to see
paid-
Venom, but we saw it.
We've paid and
Yeah.
been to the theater generally opening night. for every one of these movies. Shazam we saw a month early.
Yeah. Because of Amazon Prime. Because I was excited for that movie.
Because we bitch and moan about how bad DC is, but then the second they put a movie out, we're like, oh yeah, we're going that night, right?
So here are their upcoming movies, so we can see kind of what we're dealing with. Obviously, Birds of Prey in February. Wonder Woman.
Birds of Prey. Here's the IMDb description.
Here's the description.
After splitting with the Joker, Harley Quinn joins superheroes Black Canary, Huntress, and Renee Montoya, who's a cop in the comics, to save a young girl from an evil crime lord.
Yeah. Doesn't mention a dick pic.
To save the girl from an evil crime lord is she's supposed to have she's supposed to have the diamond, which has the dick pic for Zaz in it.
Oh, I hate
I don't like that.
it so much.
So that's Birds of Prey in February. Wonder Woman 1984 in June 5th, 2020. And then it goes Suicide Squad, the Batman.
No, it should be Aquaman next.
No,
right?
the Batman.
Batman.
June 21st, 2021.
Then
Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad, which should be a course correction. August 6th, 2021. And then Aquaman 2, December 16th,
so
2022.
The Suicide Squad is just a complete reboot.
Yep. Pete Davidson's in that fucking movie.
That's awful, though.
James Gunn doing his thing.
I don't like that at all. I do like James Gunn, and I understand why you guys are going to probably, like... You said course correction? What year did Suicide Squad come out?
Like 3 years ago, 16, 17
it wasn't that
maybe?
long ago.
So the fact that you're remaking a movie that came out 4 years ago...
Yeah, they're calling it 16, The Suicide Squad.
16, right? Suicide Squad came out 2016.
So that'll be...
There's another one being released in August 6, 2021. So 5 years later, they're making a completely new movie
it's
for the same premise. Like, that's embarrassing.
Jared Leto's Joker has been officially kind of canned.
It was fucking terrible.
Jared Leto never played the Joker. I don't know what we keep talking about.
But he tried to... he's also our crumb bum.
Jared Leto?
Because he tried to stop the Joker film from getting made because Warner Brothers didn't ask him to be in it.
Yeah, because he sucks.
That's a petty little bitch.
Let me have this conversation real fast. As you all know, I love Miles Teller. I feel like Jared Leto's kind of a fucking pompous dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't have any real proof to prove it. I can't give you a scenario. I can't give you backup. I'm saying I can't give you... I'm sure shit actually has happened, but I can't give you anything.
Remember when they were filming Suicide Squad and they had all this shit coming out of like he would prank the cast
he put
as
like a
the
dead
Joker.
mouse in their like trailer.
Or he would like mail like dead animals to them. Like he's a fucking prick.
I just feel like he is a complete piece
I feel like
of shit.
He read about Heath Ledger going crazy playing
so
the
then
Joker.
he had
so
to
like,
play crazy.
I should probably go crazy too. No, you suck.
Like, you're going to try and stop and get a movie made that they're doing something completely different because they didn't ask you and your feelings are hurt? Grow up. You're fucking getting paid millions of dollars to ruin a character. Just deal with it. Take your millions and go.
You get paid millions of dollars to be the worst out of like 7 different Jokers.
So are you guys excited? So again, with these upcoming films, I think that they are on a good track. They have the Suicide Squad. They realized that it was bad. They're redoing it with some same characters returning. Wonder Woman has obviously worked for them. 1984 got pushed back, and I'm not sure why. And Kristen Wiig's playing Cheetah in it, which is strange to me. That just comes off as weird. But I think I'm actually excited for the Batman.
No,
I'm looking forward to...
Why Cheetah and not Huntress?
Huntress is a hero at that point. Cheetah is...
Oh, so they're having Cheetah.
Cheetah... Kristen Wiig is in Wonder Woman 1984. Cheetah's Wonder Woman's like primary adversary.
Oh,
also,
I don't know much about Wonder Woman. I really like the Huntress though. I hope she comes in eventually.
Steve Trevor is rumored to be in it too, which doesn't make any sense.
No, he's definitely coming back. It's probably with flashbacks.
But it showed him as old man.
I'm alright with it. Is it Chris Pine still? I'm good with it.
I love Chris
Needs
Pine.
to be there.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was what? World War I?
Yeah. Can we? No, I'm not even going to try and make this conversation. Chris Pine's handsome, and that just
I love
to be
Chris
said.
Pine. I just enjoy him.
Previously recorded needs to at one point have said that Chris Pine is handsome, and I'm glad that I got that out of the way.
If you're in a superhero movie and your name is Chris, you're handsome.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we need to take a sidebar and talk about who the most handsome Chris is.
But we can.
But just for the record, it's Chris Hemsworth.
It's Evans.
Oh, it's Pine. I only said Pine to make this an argument.
What about Pratt?
I'm sorry, bud. He's just
I
not.
like Fat Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen him as Andy, and I like that one better.
I like him better as Fat
I like
Chris Pratt.
goofy, fat Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Like when he gets all the needles at the doctor's office.
I'm
That
just
might be my favorite episode of Parks and Rec.
All right,
when
so
they get insurance.
I think we all can agree though. It's Chris Hemsworth. Like
it's Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
I wish I was Chris Hemsworth. I wish I was anyone else
Here's
other
why.
than me.
No, here's why it's Chris Hemsworth over anybody else. Because he's a handsome man with an Australian accent.
Yeah.
The accent is a game changer.
So if I had an accent, would I be handsome?
No.
Okay.
You'd be more handsome than you are now. But I wouldn't call you'd be classically handsome. That's how they refer to people who are ugly.
Would you say I'm so handsome that it's a face only my mom can love?
Yeah, but I talked to your mom and she said she hates your face, so I don't even know if that's true.
Well, I look like her, so she must hate herself too.
Yeah. She actually says that every day she regrets having you. So she does hate herself in some way. All right. So
the Batman.
So now that our P
That was
is
the most off track we've ever gotten.
that's not true, but it was the darkest path we've ever gone
That's
down. When
not
we
true.
I don't
were
even know
young.
about
That's
that
not
either.
true either.
Yeah, you're right.
Literally,
So out of these movies, which one are you most excited for?
Wonder Woman, because I know what I'm getting. Batman, I am excited for because I do
Something
like
different.
to an extent. I like the idea of Robert Pattinson. Like I know that people are against
it's strange, but I like it.
But like
It's weird enough that it's good.
Here's the thing, and this is where I'm standing with the whole Robert Pattinson thing. They're like he's skinny, he's scrawny, he's a weirdo, whatever.
he is time to bulk up.
Yeah, and also like
Steroids
He competed in.
for getting casted? Is that what you mean?
No.
In the Triwizard Tournament?
Yeah, he
was a
competed in the
tournament.
Triwizard. I thought you were gonna say it. That's why I stopped talking. This is my boy. He competed in the Triwizard Tournament, so he's not a fucking scrub. Like he understands what it takes to be a
champion.
a big time.
What I say is I think we talked about the Eternals before, and Kamal Nanjiani, who is a
he
comedian,
bulked up, right?
Him
he
and
got,
yeah,
he got pretty big.
him and
He's big
Batista
in like
were
the
working.
Stuber
Yeah,
or whatever.
if
Him
he
and
can do
Batista
it-
started working out.
Anybody, if
Robert
my
Pattinson's
job
gonna-
is to
gonna
be an
bulk up.
actor,
Yeah.
And to
then
get
it-
big,
yeah.
if your job is to become
so
Batman,
for 6 months, it's
Yeah.
you have to get fucking big.
If you're Batman,
and I have
you're
a
not
guy
big.
who's gonna feed me,
Yeah.
and I have a guy who's gonna train me,
Exactly.
and I have everything, and that's all I have to worry about. Yeah, I could do it.
We're gonna see a dramatically different Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, and I'm all right with that. But Wonder Woman, I know that I love the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I know that I like Gal Gadot as that character. I know what I can expect from that movie. So that's the one that I'm the most excited for because I want it to be as good as the first. The one, Aquaman 2, I'm confused about because Aquaman 1 should have been 3 different movies.
yeah, that's very true. That's very
Still
true.
haven't seen it.
You guys still haven't seen Aquaman? It's
So much going on.
It's okay.
It's
I
entertaining,
don't really care.
but it's 2.5 hours long.
I like him a lot.
See, I like
why.
Momoa. Amber
If it
Heard
was-
is an
if it was
awful
2.5
actress, but
hours,
she's very attractive. So
She
she
is-
like it's
that-
like
she is awful in that
she's
fucking
such a
movie.
bad actress.
See, if it was 2.5 hours of just Amber Heard and Jason Momoa shirtless standing
There's-
around, I'd
I'll
watch
be
it.
I'll be
No,
honest,
you
Shane.
can, you can find that video on YouTube. I've had it.
Shane-
It's actually 24 hours. It's a good time.
Shane, I'll be
It's a
honest.
It's a fun Sunday.
It's actually there's some fun parts of that movie.
Yeah.
I'll watch it eventually.
It's got some really shitty
just haven't
CGI points. Everything undersea, the CGI is kind of cool. It's pretty well done.
But it's like weird. Like
I'm
not
surprised you
what
still
would
haven't seen
think.
that. It came out of like a year ago.
I heard
Close
a lot
to.
of. I heard
It
a lot of
makes
bad
me
reviews.
like very upset about Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe.
I mean,
Wait, Willem Dafoe's in it?
Willem Dafoe is
he's one
what's
of his
characters.
he's one of his
Really?
trainers.
He jumped universes.
Yeah,
He did jump universes.
this is before he became bad.
He's like
What a guy.
he's like the right hand. He's the one that teaches Aquaman everything. I forget his name in the comics.
So I would say I was excited for the Suicide Squad just because of James Gunn, because the first movie sucked.
isn't James Gunn doing Guardians again now too?
Yeah, but it's got to wait till after.
So like that
Yes.
whole thing, like
So he
James-
started working on this. He's a big
James
DC
Gunn's
guy.
got his ball sack in everybody's movies now.
I think you should be. I mean, you should be able to do both universes.
Yeah,
Bring
it's
some
not-
positivity to that DC.
mean, well,
universe.
They
Dafoe did
they
it.
really need it.
yeah,
They really need a good director to come in and save their universe because it sucks right now. They're doing
Shazam
a
was
bad
really
job
good.
of it.
Shazam
Which-
was really good.
Yeah, I love Shazam, but Justice League is my favorite like comic series to read because I really like the Justice League. They have some of the best stories. I think
They fucked up with
Yeah.
that movie.
What? Wait. So
They're-
what's the story? And I think that it's on here, and I don't want to.
The Flash.
No, the Black Adam is happening, right?
Yes. So
I know it's on there, so like let's just kind of
Wait.
have that
This-
sit by itself.
What you gave us here says The Rock was cast in 2007.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yes.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
been cast forever. But but that's a movie that is going to happen.
it's starting production in July of 2020.
Okay. All right. So
Finally.
So that's an upcoming DC film.
Is
It's
this-
just we don't have a date for it.
Is that a
Yep.
Black
Okay.
Adam origin story? Or is this
I
Black
think it's
Adam
strictly
with
Black Adam.
Shazam
but we don't,
as
yeah,
the
we don't know.
antagonist?
No,
Like,
it's
what's
a
going on?
It's a Black Adam movie. I have no idea. Shazam 2 is going to be getting made. But yeah, I would say the movie I'm most looking forward to is the Batman, but it could definitely suck. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
directed by the guy who did Rise of the Planet of the War of the Planet of the Apes.
So
Something
Is that the
Matt
third
Reeves.
one?
Matt Reeves.
Is that the third one? Or
And
the
also,
second one?
it's the third one. I think he did both, second and third. But
Did
it also,
you see the third one? I heard the second
Third
one was
one
really
what?
good. The Planet of the Apes, the new one with Caesar.
it was actually.
I heard the
the
third one
sec-
wasn't good. The one
was-
with Woody Harrelson.
it was long.
It was okay, but I love Woody Harrelson so much that him being in the movie made it like.
God.
The second
Gotcha.
one was really good.
It was really long.
Yeah, the second one I heard is like I only watched the first one. With
Woody
James Franco.
Harrelson is
First
by
one's good
far
too.
the best part of the movie.
But I just didn't watch it. I just
Yeah.
am not necessarily interested in the Planet of the Apes.
I love
situation.
him so much that I'll watch it.
Yeah, he
Apparently
looked
they're making
awesome.
another one. But me and Shane went and saw the last one. It was good.
Yeah, it was
long.
It was kind of long. All right, so
Um,
I want to talk about you have this list you gave us, movies supposedly in development, and you have The Trench, which would be the Aquaman spinoff.
Yes.
I really hope that happens because one of my favorite Justice League like kind of storylines is called The Trench when Aquaman's half brother like attacks the Earth world, not the Earth world.
This is the premise of Aquaman.
So all right, ready? So the
Are you-
trench.
are you
I
serious?
swear to God, in Aquaman,
So-
there's
so-
an entire 20-minute trench scene that should have been a whole movie.
He
It's
goes
fucking
to the
infuriating.
He goes to the
See,
5 kingdoms.
Yeah, it's
That-
infuriating that they
this
do
really
that,
makes me
and
angry.
it should have been its own thing.
because now I'm gonna have to watch Aquaman and it's gonna suck.
It's on HBO. Dude, it's really not that bad. I'm
you
telling
really-
you, it's not that bad.
You really just bummed me out. That's one of my favorite storylines from the Justice League,
Well,
and you said they
sorry.
summed it up in 20 minutes.
I don't say they didn't sum it up. They just did it.
But like the trench
it happened.
happens.
But the plot of him attacking the Earth is like the above sea world is the whole plot of Aquaman.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Sorry, Shane.
you just ruined my day.
I mean, like we talked about it. Aquaman tries to do too much.
That's the problem with Aquaman.
That's all DC. They try to do too much.
Yeah, they wanna-
don't take the time to set it up.
They,
movie-
they want to do an entire fucking.
The movie in itself, they're trying to is a romance, a comedy, an action, and a
Stupid.
horror film.
See, I think
Too
what happened
much.
with
Like
DC,
the trench is a horror movie
D-
for 20 minutes, and then it's
DC,
not.
they go, oh look at this whole universe Marvel created. They're like, we can do that too. Fuck
In
it.
one movie.
yeah.
Fuck it.
It took-
Justice League. Instead of having 4 individual movies that create Justice
It
League,
took them 10 years. We could do it in 2.
we can do it in a year and a half.
I'm gonna be the advocate, like the devil's advocate here. In terms of pulling the characters together, they pull it off in Justice League. Like it's not like you're like, oh, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but you want to know, like,
I want
here's-
them to all to have their own movie.
Here's
though.
the problem, right? And
And-
this is where DC falls short.
Good
And
movie.
all the DC fanboys out there, just you can let me have it on Twitter and Instagram and all those things. That's fine. Where DC falls short is yes, I understand who these characters are. Yes, the origin or these characters make sense. The problem is I don't give a fuck about them. Whereas I've had 2 movies, I've had 3 movies for most of the characters in Marvel where I am invested in what happens to these characters and how successful they are,
Yeah, exactly
or who
that.
they end up with. Whereas DC, yes, Cyborg shows up, and I understand why he's Cyborg, and that makes sense. But that guy means nothing to
Yeah,
me,
like-
because I was introduced to that character 30 minutes ago. If he dies right now, it's not like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's a fucking gut wrench.
See, like,
no, it's just, that
Cyborg-
guy's dead now.
Cyborg has such a tragic backstory too. Like
I hate Cyborg in comics in general.
I do
I'm
too.
not, so I
He's a
don't
Teen
know.
Titan. He shouldn't be in the Justice League, but he
should
That's Jeff
been.
Johns. That's
Yeah.
a Jeff Johns move, though. He did. They took that from Jeff Johns. In the comics.
He's tragic. Like his dad, he's a football star. He doesn't give a shit about him. His dad in Flashpoint tells him like, oh, like you're not special. Like they're superheroes. And then he comes in and he wrecks his dad's lab, and his dad's working on the alien equipment, and he has to like merge him with the alien
Yeah.
equipment. That's a tragic backstory.
Yeah.
But I still don't care about him.
You could
They
give
did
me
a
a
bad-
cyborg movie.
they did a bad job
I'm
with
saying
it.
you could give me a cyborg movie
See, they
and
fucked that
try
up.
to get me to care about him,
Yeah.
and I still probably wouldn't care about Cyborg
See,
because I don't like that
They
character
fucked
as a
that.
whole.
They fucked that up in Batman vs Superman. They gave you Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg in
That's Justice League.
5 total minutes. They remember
Yeah.
the little clip where they're like
Ah,
metahumans?
yeah.
Five fucking seconds.
But even Justice League, they don't make me care about
no,
these characters
I
that
just
they're
meant
telling me about.
like making a logical reason for they're all being able to be on the screen.
What
together.
was the order for DC? When did Wonder Woman come out?
Wonder Woman came out
After Batman Superman? So she was there first and then it
Yeah,
came
she
out?
was in Batman and Superman.
So,
first.
alright, so then this is the misogynist pig aspect of this. I can't care more about Gal Gadot, even though I don't know her, because she's an attractive woman. I'm
Her
gonna be honest with
character's
you.
also really good.
But, like, it's also Wonder Woman over Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg
That's
sucks.
the equivalent of, like,
He's a Teen Titan. He should.
yeah,
He should
that,
be
like,
in Justice
I
League.
don't even know who that would be.
So I'm gonna go through.
Iron Man and Squirrel Girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the Marvel universe, like, I don't know who the cyborg equivalent would be. It's not Spider-Man, although he's like the age.
War
Like
Machine.
I guess more like a character that you don't necessarily care about, but that they put into a big role. I guess it's War Machine, right?
The upcoming movies that are in development are The Trench, which we talked about. The Flash has been in production hell, but it's actually believed to be getting off the ground shortly with Ezra Miller still attached. Honestly, could care less. He was fine in Justice League, but I love Grant Gustin the most. He's actually wants to be penning some of the scripts. So the Flash movie, I'm not going to waste our time talking about because that movie has been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. Batgirl, who the hell knows? There was talks of that. Shazam 2, we hope. And the Green Lantern Corps is rumored with Nathan Fillion could be playing him in Suicide Squad as an entrance of bringing him in. I don't know how. I just read it online that it's rumored that maybe it's just trying to sneak you in there kind of thing.
Nathan Fillion seems kind of old to play Green Lantern.
So he was in talks to play him when Ryan Reynolds was cast as him.
Yeah, I don't like he seems kind of old.
Whatever. Dude, now what they can do with
Isn't he in his
technology
40s?
and the way they act, dude, who cares?
I
mean, Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man in his 40s.
Like I would.
You know, like Nathan Fillion?
Here's my thing. I don't want like how old is here's your boy. How old was Robert Downey Jr. when he got casted?
40, like in his
40.
40s.
So he's now 50-ish. He's in his 50s now. 'Cause it's been 10 years.
Yeah,
It's
he's like
been-
54, I think. So he's
Okay.
like 44 when he got
All right,
casted.
so 44 when he got casted. Nathan Fillion, if I look him up right now, is 48, right? And
Oh, he's
gonna
48?
get-
That's old.
He's gonna get cast as Hal Jordan.
No. I don't know. I'm just saying that was the rumor.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't
like that.
think it's going to happen.
Unless
He's
he's like an already established Hal Jordan.
I was about to say the same thing. If he's Hal Jordan,
I don't think
having
they're.
been the Green Lantern for
Yeah.
10, 15 years, that I can live with. And then the Green Lantern Corps is just him. Like then you introduce all the other Green Lanterns, like
Well, because they.
Guy and all the other like main Green Lanterns.
Because
I'm
in
cool with
Justice League they do, or Batman vs Superman, one of
They
them. They talk
mentioned
about
that,
the
yeah.
war. They talk about the Green Lantern. I love the Green Lantern. I want to see a good film. I did like the movie. Nobody else did. Fun fact: Taika Waititi's actually in that
that.
movie.
He is, yes.
I
don't.
There's parts of it that I like.
I don't hate. I do hate it actually. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Parallax is terrible.
There's parts of the Green Lantern that I do.
I hate that movie, but I like Blake Lively.
Ryan Reynolds has good moments as Hal. Parallax is fucking awful, but that's just a rumor. I doubt it's true. Just because James Gunn loves Nathan Fillion, like they're buddies, so he likes to put people he likes in his movies.
Like his fucking brother.
And then there's New Gods, which is going to be directed by Ava DuVernay, who did Wrinkle in Time. It's basically their version of the Eternals, I believe. 'Cause it's actually
New
Jack.
Gods is
Is it Jack Kirby too? Did he do New Gods?
yeah. New Gods has been around for a while. Orion is one of them.
Because
Yeah,
Jack
Gods is
Kirby
one of them.
did. Jack Kirby, I believe, did Eternals and New Gods. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, just confirming that Jack Kirby actually made New Gods and the Eternals, but supposedly it'd be like the same thing. It's that one's kind of full force.
New Gods is kind of cool. I don't know if like the characters. I've seen it. It has to do with Darkseid. It has to do with like this other like world. So it could be interesting.
So in short, I have no idea what the fuck they're doing in terms of setting up their universe with Darkseid.
I don't think anyone from DC knows what the fuck they're doing.
So New Gods is directed by Ava DuVernay. Who is that?
She did Wrinkle in Time. That's kind of all I
That's
really know.
all. That's the only thing
that I know of.
Okay, so is Oprah going to be in New Gods?
Probably.
Okay.
Reese Witherspoon too, hopefully.
All right, yeah. She's a peach.
You're right, Shane. I'm okay over at DC if they continue to just do individual movies, like
I'd be fine
individual,
with that.
like what they used to do before Marvel
Yeah.
came along and changed the formula. Were just individual trilogies. They don't seem to be doing a good job of world building.
So
why do it?
Yeah,
Why
I would
they-
much rather them do just one-off storylines.
Here's my
Well,
question.
I would like to see a Batman trilogy,
And this
I
is
want to
why-
see a trilogy of those characters.
This goes back to what you just said about world building. The movies that are supposedly in development: Black Adam, The Trench, The Flash, Shazam 2, Batgirl, Green Lantern Corps, and New Gods. Do you care about any of those movies?
No.
Batgirl would probably be the one I would.
I mentioned I want to see a Barbara Gordon, but Batgirl.
I cared about the Trench, but then you told me that they did that in Aquaman
Trench is done, bud.
poorly. So now I don't care.
Yeah,
Nothing,
fuck you.
nothing matters.
Go see the movie that came out a year ago. Jesus Christ, dude.
Who cares?
Yeah. I'm sorry that we broke your heart, but like the Tooth Fairy's not real either.
Yo, I'm
Jesus,
legitimately-
man, come on.
I'm legitimately really bummed about this.
All right, so someone
Wait,
pissed in
time
Shane's
out.
Oreos.
That's a good piss and Shane cereal, I think is what I usually would say. But the phrase
Oh, what I say, Oreos or Cheerios?
I don't know why would you piss in the Oreo. It's weird. I'm legitimately
Wait, like he takes the top part of the Oreo off,
he
and pisses on it, and then
separated it,
closes
I
it,
got
the
him
cookie
now.
back up.
I'm legitimately really bummed about this. Might be one of my favorite phrases that's ever been said on this show. Like, I'm legitimately just really, like, bummed is just such a, like, not severe word for that.
Sometimes I wish we have this recorded, like, with a camera, just to see the look of disappointment in his face when he found out that
I'm
they already
legitimately
did that.
really bummed about this. Like, bummed is just such a not severe word to use there.
So, out of the movies that are up and whatever, what characters that don't have a movie do you want to see? And that's the way we're going to close out this episode.
Well, I said that already. I said Bane. I want a whole
Bane
Bane
movie.
origin story
So
movie.
DC, actually, not Christopher Nolan Bane. No, Bane that you can understand. Is that basically what you're asking for?
What do you mean we're going to understand this?
So one of my favorite storylines from the comics is Batman Nightfall, which is
Yeah.
like the very first appearance of Bane. I would like an origin like that.
Bat Nightfall is when he breaks his back, right?
Yeah.
So you know what would actually be really cool to see is like on HBO Max, a long Halloween
Yeah,
series.
and somebody, I think you mentioned that was possibly the premise of the Robert Pattinson movie, right?
I think so, yeah.
Which a long Halloween, if you don't know, goes month by month. It's a different villain every
it's really
month.
good.
It's a very,
It's a slow burn.
yeah, it's a long book.
It's
It's
pretty
12
long.
issues,
Yeah.
and that's how they released it. Was one issue a month for a year.
It's well worth the buy.
But it's very interesting, and it's a good read, and it's a good story, and it's almost like a whodunit type situation where like you're wondering the whole time, and I think that would be a good movie. Like I'd love
Or I would like to see it as a TV show
For
like
those
one
of you
season.
Yeah.
who have read The Long Halloween, there's a follow-up called The Haunted Night. It's garbage. Don't
It's
buy
not
it.
good. Dark Victory.
I spent $25 on it, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it fucking. I thought it was gonna be great, but it fucking sucked.
It's a
Dark
big
Victory is
sloppy
good
mud
though.
pie.
That's
Victory.
Dark Victory, that
That's
one's good.
Sale and Lee.
And I like
Loeb,
anything
Sale and Loeb.
by Tim Sale and Loeb. I'm a big
See,
fan.
that's what
Haunted
Haunted Night is.
Sale
It's Sale and Loeb,
and
it's
it's not
garbage.
good. Yeah, it's
I
not good.
read it. I just didn't like it. I guess.
Thanks
I
for
would-
telling me that before I fucking
I'd
bought
be
it.
all right with Batman. They're doing the animated version. The Jack the Ripper one. What is that?
Oh, Gotham by Gaslight.
Gotham by
Gaslight?
Gaslight. I'm all right with that. Like, there's stories that I'd like to see. Character-wise, who would I like to see? I already said I want to see the Bat Family. Like, I'm more worried about them. I want to see...
I would love to see Death.
Alfred's getting a movie, right? Or whatever that
He's
is.
a TV show.
It's a TV show.
Nobody fucking watches it. I would love
Put on
to
Sci-Fi.
see, in terms of story, Death of the Family, the new one,
Oh.
not the old one, the
Not
new
Death
one.
in the Family. Death of the Family.
Of the
the
Family.
Joker
The
story.
new
I thought
one,
you were
yes.
about to say Deathstroke.
Death.
No,
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. You
I
love
really-
I'm
him.
all right with them.
Dude,
I liked him on Arrow.
love
I
Deathstroke.
got a good Deathstroke on Arrow.
I love
Um,
Deathstroke. I would like to see him in a movie, which I
but-
think they're setting up for the next Justice League, but I think they're going to do a
So,
shit job of it.
here's...
I'm telling you, they scrapped that shit. At the end of the Justice League, they scrapped that shit.
Bullshit, man.
I know Joe Manganiello would have been a good.
Yeah,
Death-
He would've been good.
Deathstroke.
His name should be Chris. He's so handsome, you know? But,
All right. So what I would like to see
He-
besides that is just a really good Green Lantern movie. That's what I want.
here's what I'm going to say. Because you went into Death of the Family. Court of Owls.
Yes.
I
A
agree.
well
Which-
done Court of Owls,
yeah.
which inherently would also include Nightwing.
Yeah.
So that kind of doubles up.
who's
So a
the,
Court of Owls movie would be good.
So the whole Court of Owls into Death of the Family. Who is the writer for all that?
Scott
Scott Snyder.
If anybody hasn't read Scott Snyder's run as Batman, it is incredible.
Until
But stop.
the end.
But stop
Yeah,
after that. Just
stop.
stop.
No,
Yeah,
you
after-
can go. You can go a little bit further.
No,
I would
after his New 52 run, just stop.
After
Oh,
Death
no.
of the Family, I would.
You
stop.
don't even have to finish the New 52 run.
No, with the
Because
Gordon
once
stuff.
Gordon
Yeah.
becomes Batman, it's not.
After Death of the Family, I would stop.
Because I'm not a
Scott
fan.
Snyder, if you don't read comics, really good writer. I know I'm a fairly educated man. I went to university in Mexico, but
He
he
it's
will
a lot
make
of-
you feel. It's like watching Westworld every time you read his comic. You feel so dumb,
It's
like
so-
you're missing something.
it's so
the
drug
entire
out, too.
time, but you just feel like you're missing something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
did I forget
I
something?
agree.
Was there something that was told
Yeah.
that I didn't get? And you aren't. You aren't. It's
Yeah.
just he's so in depth that there's a line in one panel in one comic on issue 2
Yeah.
that is the most important thing in issue 60. And it's like, well, how the fuck was I supposed to know that was going to
I love exactly. That's why part of why I stopped reading. Also, I just hated metal. But if you haven't read it, he's got some really good stuff. Apparently, they're making Court of Owls a game,
That's cool.
which would be pretty cool. So closing, we're somewhat excited for the future of DC. We liked what they did with the Joker. Shazam.
Excited but not hopeful.
We're not. I'm gonna take back not excited.
I'm not getting my. I am excited because I love DC, but I'm not getting my hopes.
We'll
up.
just say we're
None of us are going into this expecting it to be good.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
We'll just say we're looking forward to what DC's going to bring to the table.
I'll
to
say
see.
I'm reluctant.
Okay.
Ooh, good adjective.
Well, we will
Spell it.
still be there opening night, Thursday night, to see these films.
Yeah, we suck, so we're gonna complain about it, but we're gonna be there.
I saw Venom opening night. I might as well see all the DC movies.
Did we see Venom? Did he come
Yeah.
go with us? Did we go opening night or we go Friday?
Do you remember Chris was strapped?
I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
Chris was strapped.
Yeah, it was
Did we
opening
go
night.
opening night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was
Thursday
a
night.
Thursday or Friday.
It's the same weekend as A Star Is Born, and I saw that first. I saw Venom first before.
Yeah,
Star Is
because
Born.
we drank the night of the Star is Born and we were gonna ruin it for you.
Yeah, I would have been pissed. So, as always,
Probably play
remember
War Games
to
or
like, rate, subscribe us. Rating always helps on Apple Podcast. And if you guys want to tweet us and text or
Wait, hold on.
message
I
us.
want to put out a Twitter thing.
Okay.
Rank all of the Chris's.
All
By
right.
handsomeness.
Yeah, and whoever we think is the best ranking
Yeah.
should
It's
get
a
a prize.
prize.
And it
Okay.
doesn't matter because if you put Neville Longbottom as your top, he wins too.
All right,
What
so
a
that'll
callback.
we'll tweet that out and we'll put it on Facebook. Just want to thank you guys for always listening, and remember to leave us a rating, give us a shout out if you got an idea for an episode. Let us know. And hey, maybe if you want to be on an episode, why not? All right, bye guys.